Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and this is yet another video review. Today we'll be looking at the Vantec. This is an all-copper heatsink. The model number on this one is 6035D. Here we have the Vantec heatsink, and what it does come with, of course, is the heatsink itself, the 7,000 RPM fan, as well as a protective grill. And it does come with some silicone paste as well as a 3-pin adapter to plug it in directly into your power supply. Now, looking at this, you'll notice that it does have quite a few thin, long fins, and these of course are mounted to the copper base itself. 17 actually of these on each side. And of course, standard with most Vantecs is the great clip design. If you can have a closer look here at this, it's a very simple design. You just use your thumb to actually affix this to your motherboard. Now I'll show you this on a motherboard a little bit later. However, anything that does not require a screwdriver, in my mind, is certainly an excellent product. This alone speaks for itself. A great design on a clip makes easy install and removal of a heatsink very simple and very easy. And let's face it, we certainly don't want to be slipping if we do have a screwdriver into the motherboard and then damage our motherboard. Of course, if we do that, we're voiding our motherboard warranties and so on. So certainly a good idea to have a clip design like this. Look at the base here. You'll notice that it is extremely reflective. You can actually see, it's so reflective, you can see things here in my room. So it's very well polished. The surface of this is extremely well polished, and certainly it will give you great contact between this and your CPU's core. Now there is a casing on this. It's actually an aluminum casing, very light casing. And for lightness, this is pretty light actually. It's certainly lighter than the Dragon Orb 3 and even lighter than the WBK 38 as well. So it is an overall very light heatsink. Let me remove the fan on the top of here so you can actually have a look at what they've done and how you can mount this into the base. So here you have the heatsink without the fan attached at the top. Again, this heatsink does come with a 7,000 RPM fan, and it is a little loud. I'll go through with you in a little bit the difference between the 4,800 RPM and the actual loudness of this fan. Of course, if you want maximum cooling, you've got it here. You've got copper base with all copper fins, a 7,000 RPM fan blowing down. You're going to be getting some excellent cooling. Before I go into some results as well, I'm just going to state that if you want to mount a plastic adapter, you can. It does fit this. I'll show you this. I'll just pop one on the top here so you can have a look. Now this is a plastic fan adapter. You probably have seen this on the net and in my previous review. And I have a 80mm fan here as well. And this does line up and install on top very easily, which is good news in a way, because if you want to remove your 7,000 RPM fan and put an 80mm fan on top, it will be much quieter, obviously, and you'll get probably the same cooling approximately, depending on whether the case is open or closed. However, if you're looking for quietness, this would be the way to go. Replace it, pop it on, it does work. In some cases, this is a concern because these plastic fan adapters do not fit all heatsinks. So I thought I'd mention that, and it certainly does fit and work quite well. Now, as for temperatures, at full load, I have a 1.2 T-Bird, an AMD at 1.4 gigahertz at 1.5 volts. I'm using the iWill KK266 RAID motherboard. With that combination, I'm getting around 47C, which is excellent. Maximum load at 1.85. That is in the BIOS. So in actuality, you're probably looking at a 1.9-ish voltage on this, and you're getting a 48C, 47C with max load. At idle, you're getting around 32, 33C. Excellent performance from this heatsink. I have to say right off the bat that, of course, the 7000 will be a little louder than the 48. Let's just compare them here now. I'll plug in the 48 first so you can have a listen. And now I'll plug in the 7000. And you got to be careful with these. These kind of spin really quick, and I do not have a protective guard on this right now, so I'm going to watch myself here. Again, a fairly big difference, certainly. The next thing to do would be to install your heatsink. Install your CPU, of course, first, then put the heatsink on, and then connect it to the motherboard or to the power supply. Motherboard being this way, and of course, connecting it to your power supply using the 3-pin connector here. This is recommended, certainly, if you're installing a 7,000 RPM fan. Now, I'm not going to take any double takes on this. I'm going to do this a very simple install of this. Again, Vantec, you do not require any screwdrivers within this install of this heatsink. Of course, this side has to be clipped first, and then the other side. Now, remember here, I'm using my left hand. I am not left-handed, I'm right-handed. I have the camera in my right hand, so just keep that in mind, and that'll give you some indication of how easy this is to go on. It's on. It's very, very simple indeed to go on. Again, I'll take it off. It's off and on. Off and on. So overall, another excellent product from Vantec. The clip design in my books is excellent. Easy on, easy off, as I've shown you. Very important in my mind. I do not tend to like the ones that use the screwdriver method. You need a screwdriver or some other device to install the heatsink. In this case, you don't need to. And let's face it, if you do slip when installing a heatsink with a screwdriver or some other device and you slip and go into your motherboard, you're going to kill your motherboard. Your vendor will not replace your motherboard, and certainly the heatsink company will not replace your motherboard. So I think the easy on, easy off of this design is excellent. I give this product a 10 out of 10. Temperatures are great. 33 with the case closed at idle, 47C at max load. I ran Prime 95, which is a benchmark CPU program, for around 4 or 5 hours. Excellent, stable, wonderful overall product. Certainly recommend picking one of these up. And this product is really no more expensive than a lot of the copper products in the marketplace at this time. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and this has been another video review. Be sure to check back in 4 days. I'll have a brand new one for you then. Also check out my website at www.3dgameman.com, and be sure to check out our forums. We're always giving away cash and prizes. Until the next time, take care.